Yo, today I was thinking we're going to take a look at how we could implement theming in our TanStack Start application. Now I'm going to be using ShadCN, and the reason why I want to make this video is because ShadCN doesn't really have any official documentation. If you go to their page on installation, dark mode, you can see they only have for these 4 options. They don't really have one for TanStack Query. So I'm thinking we're going to make this video just to showcase how we can do it if you want to create your own TanStack Start application. The first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to create a theme provider. I have already implemented one on the right here, but we can take a quick look at how it works. So this is going to be a theme provider that we're going to wrap our whole application around, and it's going to expose a theme variable and a set theme method. The theme variable is going to be whatever theme the user has chosen, and the set theme is going to be a method we can call to just change this theme. Then we have some functions up here. We're going to have a function to get the theme from a cookie and set a cookie. Now the reason why we want to use cookies instead of storing the theme something like a local storage is because we want to be able to read the theme on the server so that we can render the correct version of the page on the server before we send it to the client, so we don't get the problem of rendering a light theme on the server and sending it to the user who wants a dark theme, because that's going to cause some kind of like flashing effect that we don't really want. And local storage is of course only available on the client, so that's why we want to use cookies, so we can send the cookie to the server when we request for the initial page. Then down here we have a theme provider. We're just gonna pass in a default theme and a storage key, and then this theme has 2 states. It has a theme and a mounted, and then this theme is what we're going to expose to the rest of our application so they can change it and read it. Then we have this use effect, which is going to run whenever the default theme changes, and this is only going to change when the component mounts. This is effectively just like a on mount effect. We're going to set the on mount to true, signaling that this component has now mounted on the client. Then we're going to get the theme from the cookie, and we're going to check it if it exists, and we're going to set the theme to whatever the value is of that cookie. Otherwise, we're just going to set the theme to system, and then we're going to set a cookie with the same value of system. Then we have this second use effect, and this is going to run whenever the theme changes or when the mounted changes. And this is a use effect that we only want to run on the client. We're going to access this window object, which is only available on the client. So that's why the beginning of these use effects start with a check to see if the component has mounted or not. If it hasn't mounted, then we're just going to early return. We don't want to do anything of the code in this use effect. But if it has mounted, then we're going to grab the root document, and then we're going to remove all the classes from it. Then we're going to check if this theme is the system. We want to check what the system prefers. Does the system prefer dark theme or does it prefer light theme? So that's basically what we do right here. And then we're going to add the whatever the system prefers to the as a class to the root. Otherwise, if the system is, or if the theme is not system, then we're just going to add whatever theme it is to the root document. Then we have a third and final use effect. This use effect is going to run whenever the theme and mounted changes, so just like the one above. However, the responsibility of this use effect is to listen for whenever changes are made to the system preferences. So in the beginning, we check if it has mounted or not. If it hasn't, then we just return. And also, if the theme is not system, we don't return. Then we don't care about this use effect anymore. If the theme is system and it has mounted, however, then we're going to continue. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab a media query, and then we're going to, down here, we're going to add an event listener on this media query for listening to when it changes. Then when it changes, we're going to call this handle change function. And this basically just removes the class from the root document, and then we are going to check what the new system preferences is. Is it light? Is it dark? And then we're going to add that class to the root. And then finally return a cleanup function down here, which is going to remove this event listener. Then finally we have the values, and we just return a React context. Now this we can use, and we can wrap our whole application in this context. So we're going to go to the root layout of our TanStack Start application, and we're just going to wrap it in our theme provider. So we're going to take everything like this, and then we're going to provide it with a default theme. Should probably be system, and then a storage key. I'm just going to use theme cookie name, and this is a constant that I had defined. I'm going to show that later. And as you can see already, the page has gone to dark mode because my system preferences is dark mode. And this works really well. We can go into our index file as well, and then we can add a theme toggle which I have. This theme toggle is just a drop down, and then whatever you choose in the drop down, we're going to set the theme to whatever you choose. So let's add that to our index page, theme toggle, simple as that. And as you can see, we now have a theme toggle up in the right corner. Now that we have the theme provider wrapped around our whole application, we can take a look at how this actually works in the browser. So if you go to the element, you can see on the HTML class, or the root element here, we have a class of light. And whenever we change it to dark, it's going to be dark. And when we change it to system, it's going to be dark as well, because my system preferences is dark. If we go over to the application tab, we can also see that we have a cookie here with the name UI theme and the value of system, because that's what is currently selected. But there is one problem here. If I'm going to refresh the page now, you're going to see it's flash from light mode to dark mode real quick. Just like that. And the reason for this is that we render the page in light mode on the server, send it down to my client. My client wants dark mode. It's going to wait for the JavaScript to load and run until it will update, and then set it to dark mode. Now, one way of solving this is by implementing a script just like I have over here. This script is something we're going to add to our root layout, and this is going to run on the server to make sure we initialize the rendering on the server with the correct theme. So this script just initializes a bunch of variables. We're going to grab the theme from the cookie, and then we're going to remove all the classes from the root document. We're going to do the same checks. If there is no theme, meaning that there is no cookie provided, we are just going to default to the system, and then we're going to set the cookie to system as well. However, if there is a cookie with a theme, and if that theme is system, we're again just going to do whatever the system prefers. Otherwise, we are going to set it as theme, because then the theme is basically light or dark mode. And then finally, we're going to add that class to the root document. So how we can apply this to our application is in our root layout, we can add a script tag, just like this. And here we can set dangerously set inner HTML. I know that seems a little bit scary, but it's fine for this use case. And then we're just going to pass in this theme script. And now if I go over to the right, when I refresh, it's going to be dark mode from the beginning, which is really nice, and this is just what we want. And the same for light theme. If I refresh, it's going to be light from the beginning. Now if we take a look at the cookies, we can see that in our application cookie we have this UI theme dark, and that's basically what stores what theme we want. So when we refresh, we get the same theme that we had previously. Then if you want to use this in another component, I have already used this in the theme toggle, but any component inside this theme provider that we have basically wrapped around our whole application, so any component in our application is going to have this available to them. We can do whatever theme or set theme, and then we grab it from the use theme context. And this has the theme, and it also has the set theme. So we can do whatever we want with the one variable and with the function. So yeah, that's basically how we could implement light and dark mode in a TanStack Start application. Now, before I end the video, I do want to make a quick shout out to WebDev. He is a coding YouTuber who's been doing a lot of TanStack Start content lately. I don't think he has any videos on how to implement light and dark theme in the TanStack Start application. However, I have gotten the implementation, especially this script setup, from one of his code repositories. So yeah, a huge shout out to you for figuring out how to implement light and dark theme in the TanStack Start application without having the flashing of light theme in the beginning. If you do have any feedback, or if you do have any suggestions, please leave a comment. I'm going to leave a link to the repository in the description below. Just note that I have everything you need in this feature/theme folder. So if you just want to copy all of these things, you can do that into your application. And then you just have to set up your root layout just as I have in this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.